We are now joined by Pat Downey. Santiago, we'll start with you.
Hi, Pat. Thank you for the time. Welcome back for your second Bellator fight. The first one went so quick, but you had a lot of fun afterwards celebrating with Luis Pena. Is Luis going to be in your corner again for this fight?
Hey, yes, sir. He sure is. Hopefully, have a lot more people from Baltimore considering we're so close. So I'm expecting a bigger celebration.
Last time we spoke, Pat, you couldn't make it out to Killcliff because of some transportation issues. Is this resolved? Are you training with Henry Hooft and the other guys at Killcliff again? Because they love to have you there, right?
Yes, I keep in touch with them. I have not begun my camp back there yet. It's been about a year just living in Miami. And I'm actually figured out my transportation. We got a new car. In the process of moving, actually, when I get back, starting the first of the year. And I miss them guys out there, Killcliff, world-class coaches. All the training partners are great, really good energies, the best facilities. So I definitely expect to make my way back up there.
It's not easy, Pat, to get quickly on cards again, but they have you out here August and now December. It seems to be a pretty good rhythm in how they're bringing you out. Do you like it as well?
Yes, sir. I mean, obviously, I intended on competing in the start of the year too, but due to some, family issues and skin health and other injury, it just wasn't God's plan. But the staff at Bellator and the promotion fighting here is great. Everybody's awesome. Very transparent with their plan for me, and I'm loving the progression and the course that I'm on. Obviously, I would have loved to compete maybe 3 or 4 times this year, but 2 times we'll have to do and pick it up where we left off rolling next year.
Yeah, and Pat, Bellator announced a big co-promotion with Ryzen at the end of the year. Did you catch this? And what do you make of 2 big promotions coming together with their top guys?
Yes, I did catch this, and I love it. I'm all for it. Ryzen, One, UFC, whomever else is, thinks they have the best guys. Let us all fight each other, regardless of promotion. I think it's a awesome opportunity to really showcase, all the talent.
Thank you for the time, Pat. I cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thank you.
Jay?
Hey, thanks very much. And Pat, welcome back. I want to start with the matchup. Obviously, Christian Eccles making his debut here. What do you make of him as an opponent?
I don't really know him. Even in wrestling, I was never big on scouting my opponents. So I always had the ideology that they should be too worried about what I'm doing for me to be able to focus on what they do. They gave me a list of people. I knew I was going to be on this card. It was just a matter of against whom. And they gave me a couple guys, and I just thought he had the best name, the Vanilla Gorilla. So I was like, let's pick this guy.
Fair enough. And you mentioned the wrestling. Obviously, you're no stranger to big matches and being in the spotlight a little. But between your first fight and now, are the nerves any less? Are you more comfortable with the process now?
Yeah, 100%. There's always the butterflies of doing something new for the first time, and for me, that was just stepping in that cage, and just even in training and sparring, I feel, not that I'm a vet in the sport yet, but I'm definitely a lot more comfortable to where if it's starting to feel more like wrestling out there, where I'm free and I really have my bearings, so I do feel a lot more comfortable.
And last one for me. I mean, when it comes to working in the gym, obviously you've got that incredible wrestling base. So do you kind of focus more on the striking? And we see people fall in love with it sometimes. Have you started to fall in love with the striking side of the game?
That sounds cliche, but I'm in love with the whole part of the game. When I go to there to kickbox or go to there to strike, I focus on that. I haven't forgotten my wrestling. I'm a grad assistant in a coaching wrestling program, college, most Southern wrestling university in America at St. Thomas University. So I'm still very much in love with the sport, and still have plans. And with grappling as well, it's the same way when I'm training with Wagner at his gym, or Cyborg and Roosevelt, and fight sports in Miami and Wagner Rocha's mixed martial arts. I'm focused on jiu-jitsu, so I really just believe in mastering all the different skills. I'm not in love with any one more than the other, if you will.
Good stuff. Well, best of luck this Friday.
Thank you.
Patrick?
Hey, Pat, this is Patrick McCoy from Combat Sports UK. How you doing today?
Pat to Pat, what's up? Doing well, bud. Just cutting this weight.
And how's the weight feeling? Obviously, you've got the jacket on. Have you just come from a little sweat?
Yeah, I'm actually in the middle. I figured I'd keep my layers on to milk this sweat while I got it going. I'm gonna go finish it up after I'm done knocking out these interviews. But the weight cut's perfect. Everything's going to plan. I'll be a big middleweight.
And where do you see your biggest advantages here in this fight? How do you think you'll win, and how soon do you want to get back in there after this fight?
I'd be surprised if it made it out of the first round. I definitely plan on finishing my opponent. The method of victory, I cannot predict whether it's strikes or submission. I will go out there and try my best to finish him, though, in the first period. Keep calling it a period like it's a wrestling match in the first round. But I'd love to, as last time, I think one of the reasons they were able to quickly turn around and put me on such a soon card is because of the way I finished my last opponent. When you go out there and you don't take any damage, you really make a strong case for yourself to make that quick turnaround. So I saw that there's a card in Dublin, in Ireland, in February. I keep vouching for myself to get on one of these international cards, specifically Ireland. So I'm going to make the same claim and hopefully put my name in the hat for the February Ireland card after this one.
Well, I hope to see you get on that card. Good luck on Saturday night.
Thank you.
Couple more here, Kobe.
Hi, Pat. Kobe from the Pro Sports Podcasters. With such a quick turnaround from your first fight, when you're preparing, is it like a separate fight camp, or is it just like the daily grind continues?
Yeah, there's some things after the fight I was going to go more into detail about, but the way we approach it, we being me and my teammates and my training partners and my coaches, just my circle, these fights, especially these developmental fights, are just an extension of my training. I kind of train right through. Like I'm in there sparring right now because it's a Wednesday and that's what I do on Wednesdays. So my training doesn't change. It's just another day.
Okay, and the energy in the cage, is it similar to what you feel when you're on the mats grappling, or is it completely different?
Yeah, similar. Like I said, I mean, I've wrestled in front of 20,000 people at Madison Square Garden. I've been to the World Championships, the Pan American Games. I've been to 50 countries doing this. It's not like I've just wrestled in high school, or even in some college. Spent my entire life tracking down the best opponents on the planet and finding them. So this is very similar. Just I'm not at the level of opponent yet that I was at wrestling. That's the only difference. But the build up is way different. The hype behind it's different. So that all kind of adds to your adrenaline and your emotional rush out there, because there is a difference. At the end of the day, it's MMA, it's fighting, and the fan base makes it a little different. The environment. So there are some unique differences, but at the end of the day, it's one man versus another man, single, one-on-one combat sport. So that's how I try to keep it as simple as possible.
Right on. Looking forward to every fight, man. Love your skill set.
Thank you.
Two more quick ones here. Mills.
Hey, what's going on, Pat? It's MMA Locker Room, part of Puff Sports Radio.
Hey, what's up, man? Just enjoying my weight cut.
Yeah, man, I seen you had a little debate going on your Instagram. Was going to do the cornrows or the Thor look? What'd you end up rolling with?
Man, we still got time, but I'm out here in the boonies. I don't know where I don't get service. I don't know if I'm gonna find anybody to braid my hair, if I trust anybody giving me a fade. So right now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm leaning towards just letting it flow naturally.
Got it. Speaking of letting it flow naturally, I mean, you fought already, wrestling with a broken rib up a higher weight class before. If you were ever in that same situation in a fight, would you still take the fight, even though you had an injury going in there and you could still perform at your highest level, or would you just take the time off?
No. I'm the same person. Trust me. Anyone, anytime, any circumstances. And you revisit me after this fight. I got a great interview for you.
Oh, my man. Can't wait for it, man. I'll be reaching out to you then. Love to see you on Friday.
See you, bro. Thank you.
Last one here, Mike.
Hey, it's Mike from ASAP Sports. I seen you say in an interview that you love killing the haters with success. Now that you got the debut out of the way, I know it's early, but how fast are you trying to leap up the ladder and prove even more haters wrong by taking on the bigger names in Bellator?
Yeah, I want to jump up there right as soon as I'm done my current contract and just start knocking guys out, taking them off the list. Top 10 guys. We don't even got to say names yet, but all these guys up in Coconut Creek area. There's a few middleweights that train up there, and I'm no stranger to them, and vice versa. So these guys already know what time it is. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of following my management's roadmap for me and trusting the people around me. Whether it's Bellator or my management, just trusting this process.
Hey, thanks for joining us while you're cutting weight.
No problem.
All right, that's the last one. Thanks a lot, Pat.
Cool.
Recording stopped.
We'll be joined next by Danny Sabatello. If you have a question for Danny, go ahead and press the raise hand button. We are going to do a quick reset, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I brought mine.
All right. We're now joined by Danny Sabatello. We'll get started here with Jay.
Hey, thanks very much. And Danny, welcome back. Obviously a big fight coming up, the Grand Prix semifinal with Stots.
Recording in progress.
Pretty vocal about Stots. We know you think he sucks, so I won't ask you what you think of him, but is there any danger that you have to be careful to, not overlook him?
No, not really. Obviously, in any type of fight with this small glove situation, you really do have to be very careful because obviously someone can get very lucky and land a strike, and then that's it. That's the end of the fight. MMA is so unique where if you do slip up and you do make a minor mistake, it is the end result. You do take the loss. And all these other fucking sports, these pussy-ass sports, you can make a mistake and just get it back the next play. In basketball, if you miss your assignment, it's just a 2-point dunk. No one gives a fuck. In MMA, your hands are out of place for a split second. Your lights go out. See you later, and you're never the same. So in that aspect, I kind of always have to be careful. But with Stots, he doesn't really have any expertise in any area. The last guy I fought, Leandro Higo, was very good on the ground, very good jiu-jitsu, so you got to be very careful with him. But with Stots, he doesn't have great jiu-jitsu. He doesn't have great Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, or anything like that. So I'm really not too worried about his finishing capabilities. I just got to go out there, fight smart, fight hard, push the pressure, and break this motherfucker.
It seems as if you might have gotten under his skin a little. Do you think that can work to your advantage if he fights emotional?
Yeah, I've definitely gotten under his skin. You just look how he's carrying himself during this fight week and how he has this entire time with this fight camp. He's very different. Go back on his other fights. He doesn't talk this type of trash. He seems a little bit more amped up, a little bit more juiced up, seems a little bit more nervous. But that's kind of what happens when you fight Danny Sabatello. You kind of have to change exactly who you are, not just in the cage, but outside the cage when the lights are on you. You kind of talk a little bit different. But that's what comes with it, and that's what I want out of these guys. I really believe in mental warfare. I believe in breaking your opponent before the initial bell even starts. And I've definitely done that. I think he's going to come out there. He's going to want to knock my fucking head off. He's going to want to hate me. But you know what? That's just going to play into my game plan. And if you win before the bell even rings, then man, you got it in the bag. And with this fight specifically, with him being a mental midget and a little pussy, I think I got this fight already won.
And last one for me, obviously, you've got the other side of the bracket going down as well. Patchy Mix will be in action. He came out, he predicted Stots would beat you, and he called you trash. I mean, is that a sign that things are going in the right direction when you get an emotional reaction from a guy you're not even matched up yet with?
I mean, no, not really. I forgot those two little pipsqueaks were on my fight card. But yeah, all these other guys, Raufeon Stots and Patchy Mix and Magomed, I think they're all friends. This whole division, I see them outside before all this shit, and they're always talking, being buddy. But I'm not in the friend-making business. I'm in the face-breaking business. So obviously they're going to all have each other's backs. They're all going to predict each other to win. That's fucking cute with me. I don't care. To me, they can all fucking die. I don't really give a fuck. He can predict Stots wins. It doesn't really matter off my back. With their fight, I don't have a prediction because they both suck.
All right. Well, looking forward to yours Friday.
Yep.
Dylan?
Hey, Danny. Last June, you spoke to me about mixed martial arts, explaining how this isn't basketball where you toss a ball in a hoop, or football, you miss a block, he gains an extra yard. This is a very dangerous game. Although you're all alone in that cage, how crucial is it to have the right people around you and have a good support system like the one you have at ATT in Florida?
Yeah, it's everything. Part of the reason why I get my confidence is because I train at the best gym in the world down at American Top Team in South Florida. My head coach, Mike Brown, I very much so believe in. Whatever he says, I go in there and I do it. He could tell me this fight, go in there and fight blindfolded, and I would absolutely do that. I make sure that I'm very calculated and I surround myself with the right people, because you can be put up and surrounded by the wrong crowd. And you'll just see that with not just your fighting, but your day-to-day life decisions. So it's very crucial to surround yourself by very intelligent, very skillful people within your field. And that's exactly what I've done. I have absolutely killers and geniuses, MMA gurus around me. So that's also what gives me part of the confidence, is just because, man, how could I not be fucking good when I'm sacrificing everything? I'm just listening to my coaches and my training partners. I'm fucking going hard every single day in the gym, twice a day. Obviously, with that recipe, it's a formula for championship, and I'm going to put that on display in a couple of days, is get that championship, not just because of how hard I work and what I've sacrificed and how fucking good I am, but a product of my environment, and that's American Top Team.
And a lot of Nigerians, have reached the highest heights in this sport, Kamaru Usman, Israel Adesanya, and others. How important is it what does it mean to be able to represent your heritage or Italian heritage within mixed martial arts, and maybe bring a championship, and have an Italian champion?
Yeah, it would be fucking awesome. Obviously it's very exciting for me because there's not too many Italian champions. I don't know if there's ever been an Italian champion in Bellator before. Hopefully I can be the first one, but man, I represent a ton of people. I don't like to think that I represent just one specific group or anything like that. If you're a tough motherfucker, I represent you. If you're a pussy, I don't represent you. That's pretty much the bottom line. But yeah, I'm very proud of my Italian heritage. Obviously the Italians are the toughest and meanest motherfuckers on the planet. So obviously I have all of the toughest guys out there, which is awesome. I've been getting DMs and all that from all the Italians, and it's very funny what these guys fucking say, and I know they all have my back if anything push come to shove. But obviously I represent a lot of people. I represent Italians, I represent American Top Team, people from Chicago, all of South Florida, my family and my friends, my teammates, my coaches. I'm just going to be out there December 9th at the Mohegan Sun representing a ton of people that are a part of the Sabatello Mafia.
And you mentioned Chicago. We just saw you a few weeks ago at Bellator 288 in Chicago. You faced off with Raufeon, Dale Brown, standing in between you guys. Do you notice any differences in Raufeon's stare or his body language than maybe some previous opponents, or are all face-offs pretty much the same?
Yeah, Raufeon's very scared. You know, he sways back and forth whenever I come face to face with that little pipsqueak. He's very nervous. He tries to turn it into a positive energy and act like he's very excited for this, but he's not. I could tell just by his shaking his knees and not being able to look at me and smiling and saying he can't wait. That's just kind of nervous energy. That's his way of trying to cope with everything. But I have this mental warfare and these mind games down to a T. I can already see that I'm in his head. It's very crucial. You know, Dale was there, but not too long after that Chicago visit, I saw on one of Dale's Instagram posts that he had Raufeon Stots beating me. So Dale, to me, can go fuck himself as well. If he wants to step inside that cage and have Stots' back, why doesn't he step inside the cage December 9th and have his back? I'll beat the shit out of him too. So they both can go fuck themselves. But yeah, I am in Stots' head, and you're going to see it, and I'm going to put it on full display December 9th.
Thanks, Danny. Good luck this Friday.
Yep.
Kobe?
Hi, Danny. Kobe from the Pro Sports Podcasters. A lot of people would say you exude a fair amount of confidence, or others would say cockiness. And with every fight you've had in Bellator, you get a number of detractors that kind of write you off, but you show the same sort of level of performance with every single opponent, even though they've been maybe more respected than you. How many wins is it going to take before people start to respect you?
Yeah, I don't have that answer. You know, the problem is there's so many dumb fucks out there. You know, a lot of people are going to be writing me off simply just because they're morons. A lot of people are very much haters. And you know what? All successful people have haters, and I got a lot of haters. So that just shows that a testament is my skills and that I am very good at this thing. Anytime you look at somebody that's very high level at their craft, whatever it might be, you're going to have a lot of people on Instagram and Twitter saying, oh, he fucking sucks and all that. And I got a lot of that shit. You know, I don't listen to the haters. I don't listen to any of that bullshit. All those people on Instagram that are saying that I suck and all that have never been in a fight in their life, and they're dumb fuckers. They're probably fat too. So I don't pay too much stock to that, but the people that say that I'm going to lose the Stots are also fucking idiots. You know, if you look at my skills and my abilities, what I've done to really fucking good people, you'll see that this fight should be no problem.
And how do you compare Stots to, say, Lugo or Johns?
Yeah, it's just different in the MMA game because stylistically everybody's a little bit different. You know, with my last opponent, Higo, he specializes in jiu-jitsu, so you can't open up too much because that's what he's waiting for. He's waiting for you to make a risky move and open up, and then he slices your neck or your leg or your arm or something like that, gets you in an arm bar or leg lock, and then finishes the fight. With Stots, he doesn't have that capability, so I'm able to open up more. So it's a very different fight from that one. I would say it's on the level of Jornal Lugo. You know, they're both very athletic people. They're both pretty good on the feet, both pretty good on the ground. I'm way better everywhere. And I'm going to be looking forward to showing that as well, because with that Jornal Lugo fight, I sliced him open and there was blood everywhere. And that's kind of how I see this fight going down. Blood everywhere, me imposing my will, and me dominating this motherfucker.
I'm looking forward to a great fight, buddy.
Yep.
Santiago?
Hi, Danny. Thank you for the time. In a weekend filled with combat sports, this fight between you and Stots is the biggest in the Bellator cage fight of the weekend, of course. And it's not even close. A lot of people think that this has a lot to do with your appearances in the build-up. How big do you think your role was in all of this, Danny?
Yeah, I mean, bottom line, my role is huge. You know, this is the Danny Sabatello show. I am the main event. Everybody under me should be thanking me. One guy specifically that should send me a Christmas gift this year is Raufeon Stots. You know, he's getting a lot of publicity. He's getting a lot of shine right now. People are saying, oh, did Raufeon come out of nowhere? Wow, where's this guy came from? This motherfucker is 34 years old. He's been in the game forever. There's nothing new with this guy. He's just getting a lot of publicity because of me, so he should be very thankful for me. I've came out of nowhere. I've only been with Bellator for about a year now. I'm only 29 years old. So obviously it's very big whenever I fight, and it's only going to get bigger when I fight. You know, all these fights, even after this, when I fight for the title, it's going to be massive. And then when I fucking beat the shit out of that pussy Sergio Pettis, that's also going to be massive. So it's very, very exciting times for Sabatello fans out there because it's only going to get bigger and better. And if you're not on board now, you can go fuck yourself.
And it only has been a year since that you've entered Bellator MMA promotion. It seems like you're in the right place at the right time. How would you say that these 18 months have been for you here in the company?
Yeah, absolutely awesome. You know, Bellator's the best. And specifically with this bantamweight division, Bellator has the best bantamweight division across all promotions. So it's just very exciting whenever you're successful in this division. It just shows how fucking good you are. You know, the bottom line is, at the end of the day, the winner of this tournament will be regarded as the best bantamweight on the planet, and that's due to this Grand Prix tournament and how deep it is. You know, you got guys like Brett Johns and Darian Caldwell who aren't even in this fucking tournament. That just shows how awesome it is. And also, I do love this Grand Prix tournament just because it's just like the other mainstream sports. You know, you want to get MMA bigger, you got to kind of compare it to football and baseball and basketball. And what do they have? They have the playoffs at the end of the year just to see who's the best fucking team or person or whatever it may be. You know, you got to test yourself at the end of the year to see who the best is. And that's what this Grand Prix tournament is. It's a playoff. You know, this isn't cherry picking now. You know, a lot of times in MMA, fans are going to be able to say, oh, but did he deserve a title shot? Is he really the best in the division? We don't really know because you kind of pick and choose. With this Grand Prix tournament, if you want to be the best, you got to run through the fucking tournament and beat the best. There's nothing anybody can say once I win this Grand Prix tournament. I will be the best bantamweight on planet Earth.
Yeah, I agree. There's no politics anymore. Exactly. And Bellator is going to do a co-promotion at the end of the year, Danny. What was your first reaction when you heard this exciting news?
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. You know, it's very good for MMA in general. I think everybody should be very excited for this. That means big things are headed ahead. You know, obviously, you kind of want more co-promoters and co-promotion fights. It just makes everything better in this sport. And obviously Ryzen has a lot of talented people and a lot of talented fighters, but I'm very confident in the 5 that Bellator has picked to represent us. I'm going to have all their backs. After that, they can go fuck themselves, you know, because I don't really like anybody in this fight game other than my teammates at American Top Team. But for that, for Bellator against Ryzen, I'm going to be obviously Team Bellator and rooting for those fucking guys, and it's going to be very exciting.
Thank you for the time, Danny. Cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on Fight Night, sir.
Thank you.
We'll take one more from Patrick.
Hey, Danny, this is Patrick McCoy from Combat Sports UK. How you doing today?
Awesome. How you doing?
Doing well. Now, obviously, with all the build-up, all the trash talk in the build-up, is there any chance, no matter the result of the fight, we get a shake of hands at the end of it?
Yeah, maybe. I can do a lot of things, but I can't tell the future. You know, I don't really know how that's going to go. I really don't fucking like this guy. None of this is fake or anything like that. I don't see myself liking him the rest of my life. You know, he's just a very different cat from me. I don't agree with the shit that he does. You know, I don't like fake people. Every time I go on social media, Instagram or Twitter, he's got the first like on everybody's picture and he's commenting and giving fake laughs. And he's just caught up in this fake fucking bullshit Instagram world. And I don't like that for this world. I think it's terrible. So we'll never see eye to eye. But once that bell rings, you know, you might have a little bit of respect just for 5 seconds just because of what you all have gone through. But I really don't see myself liking this guy ever. But again, you know, after I do get my victories, I don't see a need to shove it in my opponent's face or do anything like that. After I'm done killing my meat, I'm done with it. I don't even give a shit. I'll be already looking forward to that fucking final in this Grand Prix. But, you know, who knows? Maybe, maybe not. I guess we'll just have to see.
And how do you predict this fight to end? And how do you see your styles matching up with either the winner of Mix or Magomedov?
Yeah, with this fight specifically, I need to fucking drag this into fucking later rounds just because I want to oppose my will on this motherfucker. You know, obviously, if I do get a quick finish, I'm not going to say that I won't be happy. Of course, in MMA with this crazy game, you got to be very happy with any victory that you get. So if that were to be the case, I would be happy. But I ideally would like a 4th round TKO. You know, I want to bash his fucking face in. I want to make him bleed. I want to make it violent. And I want to make him fucking suffer, dude. This guy's been talking a lot of shit. And I got to make him pay for it. So obviously I want to go in there and want to do what I want to do. I want to have the fans be excited and have them know how much better I am than this motherfucker. And once that I impose my will and fans realize how much better I am than this guy, then I'll fucking get him out of there. Probably a TKO. It could be a submission, but I'm predicting that 4th round. And then against either Magomed or Patchy, I don't have a prediction of who wins that fight. They both suck. You know, Patchy is really good on the back once he gets that body lock on you. But other than that, he's not good. Magomed can be tricky because he throws a lot of spinning attacks, which are very dangerous in MMA. You always got to be careful. But Technically, he's not that too technically sound. That's why I say this fight with Stots is actually for the actual belt. This isn't for the interim shit because Sergio Pettis sucks, and the two guys on the other side of the bracket aren't as good as me and Stots. So this right now, in 2 days, at Mohegan Sun, December 9th, with me and Stots, is actually for the belt because we are the best two guys in this division.
We'll take one last one from Dylan.
Hey there, Danny. I appreciate you making some time.
Yep.
I'm just curious because previously you held the Titan FC Bantamweight title for close to a full year. Like, what would it represent to your career progression to capture Bellator gold here?
Yeah, well, Bellator Gold is the most prestigious gold, obviously, and how I've talked about how this Bantamweight Bellator division is the best Bantamweight division across all promotions. So if I can capture this fucking Bellator Bantamweight division, it's going to mean everything. You know, it'll just show whatever I do, I capture gold in it, and I seek out titles, and I win titles. You know, I like to think that I perform my best on the brightest and biggest stages. That's why I'm trying to build up this fight. I think Danny Sabatello's best comes out when everybody's watching and the spotlight is on and there's so much fucking pressure. I also think a majority of people crumble under the pressure, and that's what Raufeon Stots does. So I think going into this fight, he's not going to be the same fighter. He's going to feel a lot of adversity. He's going to feel a lot of pressure. You know, those lights are going to be very bright. It's going to be main event, and I think he's going to crumble, and that's where I'm going to shine. And it's just going to be awesome, man. With Bellator, I love Bellator. You know, I've been saying it for a while. I hope I start my career with Bellator and end my career with Bellator, but you can't really tell the future. But regardless of the situation, me getting this belt Friday is going to be absolutely epic.
And just one more follow-up, because I noticed on your Instagram you were wearing a T-shirt where you were flipping off Raufeon Stots. Is that something Sabatello fans can purchase if they're so inclined?
Yep, absolutely. You got a picture on a T-shirt of me and Raufeon, me flicking him off at the end of my last fight with Higo. He came into the cage and I had my middle finger in his face. He didn't do shit because he's a pussy. So yeah, you can go to my Instagram. It's in my bio and you can buy it shit there.
Thank you for your time, Danny.
Yep, thank you.
Recording stopped.
We will be joined by Magomed Magomedov very shortly.
Recording in progress.
We are now joined by Magomed Magomedov. Santiago, we'll start with you.
Hi, Tiger. Thank you for the time. Did you watch Patchy his last fight against Horiguchi, and what did you think of his performance?
Ты смотрел последний бой Патчи с Хоригучи, и что ты думаешь о его выступлении?
Да, я смотрел этот бой, и такой хороший бой, плотный бой получился. И 2 по раундам выиграл Патчи, такой близкий бой был.
Yeah, I watched the fight. Of course, I watched the fight, and that was very intense and close fight. But very close fight. But 3-2 by the rounds. Patchy won this one, you know. So he was just a better man at that night.
Are Sabit and Kasan going to be in your corner for this fight?
Нет, они не будут, потому что Забит заболел и решил отдохнуть. Хасан готовится к своему бою. Мы решили, что это они не прилетят.
No, unfortunately not, because Zabit's supposed to come, but the last minute, you know, he got a little ill and sick, you know, so he couldn't travel. Ghassan is in the camp for his upcoming fight. He's fighting in February, so none of them gonna be in my corner.
What kind of Patchy mix do you expect on fight night? Because his game is very aggressive, going for the takedown. What do you think he's going to do against you?
Какого, соперника, какого Патчи ты ожидаешь вот в бою с тобой? Потому что он всегда очень агрессивно борется и переводит своих соперников. Что ты ждешь вообще от него?
Я ожидаю увидеть самого сильного Патчи, который в форме 100%. И я думаю, я готов к его борьбе. Что мне предложит, я ко всему готов.
Well, I know that I'm gonna face the best Patchy in his career. You know, I'm sure he's gonna be in his best shape, and he's gonna be very motivated for this fight with me. But I have answers and I have tools for all his attacks, and whatever you're gonna bring it on the table, we can eat it.
Timur Kisriev made his Bellator debut last month, and he had a beautiful performance against Daniel Weichel. Were you happy with Timur, his performance, and did Timur help you to prepare for this fight?
Тимур Хизриев сделал свой дебют в прошлом месяце в Bellator и вообще прекрасный бой провел против опытного Дэниеля Вайхеля. И что ты скажешь по поводу Тимура, и он также тебе помогал в подготовке?
Да, Тимур, он младше меня. Мы с ним, с детства я видел, как он рос. И тренировался, я лет с ним 12 уже тренируюсь. Он вышел на замену и не показал себя еще 100%. И я думаю, по легком весе новая угроза. Я думаю, он всех удивит. Он уже в топах. Я думаю, 2-3 боя он уже будет драться за титул.
Yeah, I know Timur since he was a kid. You know, we've been training together for, I believe, last 12 years. You know, and I see every step of his, you know, every improvement that he's making, and you could tell that this guy, that Timur has a very good future. And even with this fight with the Wahil, you know, he came on a short notice, 3 weeks before the fight, you know, and he showed like a great performance. He is in the top now, and I believe this weight division should be aware that this guy is a real threat, and I'm sure soon he's gonna fight for the Bellator belt.
Thank you for the time, Tiger, and good luck on fight night, sir.
Jay?
Thanks very much. And Magomed, welcome back. Obviously, this is a big fight coming up, and I'm curious, with so much on the line, the tournament final, the potentially money in the championship, you've been fighting for over a decade, but do you still feel the nerves heading into a fight this big?
Магомед, очень интересный бой. Ожидает тебя очень большой, очень замотивированный. Большие деньги тоже стоят на кону. И сам вообще этот турнир раскрученный. И вот такой вопрос к тебе. У тебя большой опыт тоже уже в боях. Остались ли еще... Ну, ты по-прежнему нервничаешь или же перед боем у тебя что-то бывает, какие-то опасения?
Такого нету, конечно, как раньше. Я уже, наверное, давно в этом спорте и повидал все на своей карьере. Маленькие нервы по-любому бывает, но когда закрывается клетка, все проходит и начинается просто бой.
Listen, guys, I've been in this sport for the long time, and I don't think that there is something that I haven't seen. You know, my experience is huge. I faced a really tough challenge in my career, and yeah, there is always some small jittering before you enter in the cage. But once you're in the cage, everything is gone, and you know, then this is where you feel comfortable.
In terms of motivation and your career, even, what means more to you at this point? Is it the championship or the potential of the $1 million?
Мотивация именно в этом гран-при. Что тебя больше мотивирует? Это пояс непосредственно чемпиона или же $1 миллион?
Запоминается больше. Деньги приходят, уходят, а пояс выиграешь, оно уже будет. Ну, если ты пояс выиграешь, и так $1 миллион придет. Так что моя цель это пояс, остальное и так все будет.
Well, I think I think motivation is my motivation is the belt. As a belt, as a title for sure, because money comes and goes. You know, today you have money, tomorrow you don't have, but the belt and this kind of emotion will stay forever. But in this case, you know, I'm just hunting for both, for the title and for the money. You know, it's a good collaboration here.
Fair enough. And last one for me. Obviously, the other semifinal goes down this Friday as well. Danny Sabatello and Raufeon Stots. What is your prediction for that fight?
Твои прогнозы на бой Стотса и Сабателло?
Я думаю, 60-40 Рауфан, потому что он сам базовый борец, и я думаю, в ударке он лучше Sabatello. То есть он нейтрализует его борьбу, и для Sabatello это будет тяжелый вечер.
Well, Raufeon Stots is his background is wrestling as well. So if he can utilize, if he can neutralize Sabatello's takedowns, and I think he has a privilege, and he's better in the striking game. I think it's a 60-40 to leaning more towards Raufeon Stots in this fight.
All right. Well, thanks very much. Best of luck on Friday.
Dylan Rush.
Hey, Magomed. You and Patchy Mix obviously have a lot of respect for one another, training together in the past at XC, Extreme Couture in Las Vegas. Were there ever any thoughts when you're training with Patchy, when you're doing the sauna with him? Did you ever envision that one day down the line you'd be standing opposite the cage from him and fighting him one day?
Очевидно то, что у вас с Patchy Миксом много общего. Также вы и тренировались тоже раньше в Вегасе. Мы видели вообще, когда это все проходило, вы понимали то, что вы один день можете друг с другом столкнуться и драться?
Да, конечно, это рано или поздно по-любому столкнулись бы. Мы хоть тренировались в одном зале, но мы вместе в парах не становились. И как бы понимая, что мы один день встретимся. За это нормально все.
Yes, I mean, for all time, we both realized that we could face each other one day. And even though we've been training together in Vegas, you know, during the camp at the same time, we never spar together or do any work. So just, you know, so both of us feel comfortable because both of us understood that one day we'll face each other, and we are cool with this one. There's nothing ill between us. Just sportsmanship.
And at the last Bellator event, Bellator 288, the world saw Vadim Nemkov retain his title and Usman Magomedov win the bantamweight or lightweight championship. How would it feel to represent Dagestan and bring a title back to Russia if you were to win the whole Grand Prix?
На прошлом Bellator турнире в Чикаго Усман Нурмагомедов завоевал пояс в легком весе. Также Вадим Немков защитил свой пояс и тоже отвез. Что для тебя будет означать вообще выиграть полностью в этом Гран-при и также привести этот пояс в Дагестан?
Да, для меня это, конечно, много чего означает. Я к этому шел почти всю карьеру, и я очень рад за пацанов, за Усмана, за Вадима, что выиграли свои титульные бои. И мотивирован также забрать титул, как и они. Дали мотивацию.
First of all, I'm really happy, for both guys, for Usman and for Vadim, that they one defended his title, another one grabbed the new belt. I'm really happy, and they also give me, additional motivation to be another person who can get the Bellator belt and bring it back to my homeland. So yeah, this is huge for me. I mean, this is my whole career. It was driven, towards these kind of goals. So the motivation is big in this case.
We'll take one more from Patrick.
Hey, Magomed, this is Pedram Corey from Combat Sports UK. So, how do you see your style matching up against Patchy mixes? And with the other fight across the bracket from you, would you prefer Stots winning so you can avenge the loss?
На другой стороне сетки там Stots и Sabatello. Ты бы сам предпочел, вопрос такой, ты предпочел бы, чтобы Raufeon Stots выиграл, чтобы ты смог с ним сразиться в финале и как бы реваншировать свое поражение? Или какие у тебя предпочтения, преференции?
Да, конечно, я хотел бы с ним встретиться в финале, взять реванш. Всегда хочется отыграться, когда где-то проигрываешь. И хотел бы встретиться с Рауфеном. И это был бы более интересный бой, потому что у нас есть уже история.
Yeah, I think this fight will make more sense, if Raufeon will advance to final and I can face him. I'm always looking for the revenge and rematch, and for me, for promotion and for the fans, it's going to be better matchup.
Thank you for your time.
Recording in progress.
We're now joined by Dalton Rosta. Please raise your hand if you have any questions. Santiago.
Hi, Dalton. Thank you for the time. How are you experiencing your fight week thus far? Is Bellator taking good care of you?
Yeah, everything's been great so far.
So how did your camp go at ATT? And did you work a lot with the middleweight champ, Johnny Eblen, as well?
Camp went great. Couldn't have went better. And yes, I got some work with Johnny, but I also got some work with Roman Feraldo before he went out for his fight. Sabah Hamasi, Glyco Franca, Artem Levin, one of the best kickboxers of all time. So I changed the training partners every single week. So I'm adapting, and I'm ready for anything that comes on Friday night.
I cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thank you.
Patrick.
Hey, Dalton, this is Pedram McCoy from Combat Sports UK. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. Now, obviously, you've had a very strong 2022, obviously coming off a very impressive knockout win. 2 massive wins this year. How important is it to you to finish this year off strong, obviously with a number 5 next to your name, to kind of push for the title shot?
I mean, I think it's very important. My whole entire goal in this sport is to be the best in the world. And that's regardless of promotion. So the first step would be, earning a title shot and then winning it and then continuing to defend it. So I'm at this point, this fight, just like every other, is very, very important.
All right, man. Looking forward to seeing you in action on Friday. Good luck.
Thank you.
Jay.
Thanks very much. Hey, Dalton, welcome back. I wanted to start with the main card placement of this fight because last time out you were on the prelims, and here you are kicking off a very solid Bellator 289 card. And I don't know how much that means to you, but in terms of your career, do you kind of mark that as the next step, the next milestone?
I mean, I fought on the main card before against Ty Gorder. So this isn't my first appearance on the main card. We were on CBS Sports back then, so this is my first time on Showtime. However, I just wanted to fight. You know, I like to stay active. I fight better. I improve faster, and I make better improvements whenever I'm active. So at the end of the day, I just wanted to fight one more time before the end of the year and, you know, get ready for my next fight. And they told me there was a spot December 9th on the prelims. I said, I don't care. If I'm on the prelims, I just want to fight. And eventually we got elevated to the main card anyways.
Fair enough. And then the matchup with Anthony Adams, just give us your thoughts on him as an opponent and how you see this one playing out.
He's a good fighter, good striker. He mixes it up here and there, but heavy striking game. That's what he relies on. He's athletic, quick jab. You know, likes to throw one kick on the outside a lot at a time. He's a good fighter, you know. But at the end of the day, I think I'm levels above him, and I plan to go into the cage on Friday and prove that.
When you talk about levels above him, you're also ranked above him. Was there any frustration about fighting down in the rankings, or is that something that, you know, at the end of the day, like you said, you just wanted to fight and you don't worry about it, leave it to the matchmaker sort of thing?
Yeah, no, I mean, they tried making the fight with John Salter. I don't know what happened with that. Didn't come to fruition. And then after that, they tried matching me with Imam Shafi Aliyev, who ended up fighting on the November card. He said no. And, you know, so there's only so many people to choose from. You look at the rest of the top 10, some of them had fights right before this that weren't able to fight because of timing. And then, I mean, number 7's Austin, my teammate. Don't want to fight him unless it's for title contention. I already beat Romero Cotton. Lorenzo Larkin moved down to 170. So this is the highest ranked guy that was willing to take the fight.
Fair enough. And last one for me, you mentioned your teammate there, and obviously another teammate is the champ, Johnny Eblen. Do you guys have kind of a process worked out for what happens if you do fight each other in terms of coaching and cornering and times in the gym? Obviously, it's a big facility, but.
No plan.
All right. Well, best of luck here and looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Kobe?
Hey, Dalton, Kobe from the Pro Sports Podcast. It's good to talk to you again, buddy. You're looking fly.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now, you've been pretty busy this year. Third fight is this particular year. How do you feel you've developed over this particular year?
I mean, I think I've proved that I could strike with anybody. I could wrestle with anybody. I'm a complete MMA fighter. I mean, on top of that, I've just improved that overall. I don't like to label myself as a striker or a wrestler or a grappler. I'm just a complete mixed martial artist, so I just got better at MMA.
And is there anything that you think you still need to work on, say, leading into, say, top 5 fights?
Of course. You know, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm going to continue to improve and continue to fill those holes. And I do that every day at practice, day by day.
Love your fights, man. They're clinical. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Dylan Rush?
What's up, Dalton? Dylan Rush here. I don't want to sound like everybody else, but you are dressed to impress. I got to ask, can we expect to see any Steeler gear for the walkout, maybe some Wiz Khalifa, or are we just going to have to wait and see?
No, I'm going to be wearing some sponsorship stuff for my walkout this time. So no Steeler gear, unfortunately, but we'll get back to that in the near future.
And you recently called Joanna Jędrzejczyk the female GOAT on Instagram. Does she still have a strong presence in the ATT gym despite her retirement? And how would you say she's influenced the culture down there in Florida?
Yeah, when she comes back to the gym, you know, everybody lights up with joy. You know, she's a great presence to have in the gym, and she's a great role model to a lot of the female fighters, and not just the female fighters, but some of the men as well. I truly think she's one of the greatest females of all time, and she was definitely my favorite female fighter to watch. So it's inspiring to be able to train with somebody like that. And
lastly, you mentioned one of your training partners down at ATT, Saba Homasi. he just got booked for a very intriguing bout February, the next event, 290. Sabo Masi, Brennan Ward. What do you make of that matchup? How do you see that one playing out?
Sabal wins by knockout.
Thank you for the time, man. Good luck.
No problem. Thank you.
Ken?
Hey, Dalton, K. Williams for Can Chronicles Media. You mind expressing on training camp leading up into this fight? And also, in your last match, you walked away in a very victorious fashion. Where would you rate your confidence currently?
As confident as can be. I've been a confident individual since I stepped into the sport, even well before that, whenever I was wrestling and boxing. But confidence just keeps growing.
Thank you for your time.
Yep, thank you.
Mills?
Hey, how's it going, Dalton? MMA Locker Room here, part of Plus Sports.
Good, how are you?
Good. I want to ask, man, is that velvet?
Be honest with you, I don't know the exact material. Could be something else, but my guess would be it's velvet. This fight, I kind of just let my custom suit guy, David Allen, best suits in the game by far, as you could see. I just let him take over and, design what he wanted this time. A lot of the other suits, were kind of my choice, and we, worked together on making those. But this time I was just like, yo, do your thing, and I'll wear it to my next fight. And that's exactly what we did. And, it came out. It's definitely the best suit I've ever had, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing, man. You're able to wear it. Your opponent, man, he had 9 fights canceled within the last 3 years, So were you worried at any moment of time of this fight actually not happening?
Yes, I was worried.
Got it, man. Now you're here. A win over, this opponent, of course. Your name's going to be right there above matchups that we would love to see. One that I would love to see, Aaron Jeffries or Fabian Edwards. How you feel about that?
They're both good fighters, both athletic, both well-rounded. I think they're great fighters. I think it'd be great matchups. But I'm interested in fights that'll get me closer to the title. So Aaron Jeffries had a win over Austin, which propelled him up in the rankings, but he only has 2 fights in Bellator. So I don't know if he's in the talks for title contention right now. And, Fabian Edwards is another one I like. He's ranked number 2, and he just had another win, so he'd probably be up there. John Salter, Fabian Edwards, whoever they want to give me, that's who I'll fight.
We'll take 2 more quick ones, starting with Dylan.
Hey there, Dalton. I appreciate you making some time.
Thank you.
I'm just curious because there's, a couple ATT compatriots on this card. Danny Sabatello, obviously, Cody Law as well. What's the general atmosphere been like in the gym leading into this one? I would think it would be pretty strong.
Same as always. We always have a competitive spirit. Everybody's always working hard. Coaches are always working hard as well. Fabulous facility. Couldn't ask for a better gym.
Take a last one from Raul.
What's up, Dalton? Raul here. I just have one quick one for you. Last time out, you were the featured prelim. This time, you're the opening act on the pay-per-view. How does it feel having that kind of confidence from the company?
I mean, it feels great. They actually told me before this they thought I was a main card guy, and that's why they didn't want to offer me the fight for December 9th. But I told them I just want to fight. I don't care. But at the end of the day, they ended up elevating me to the main card. So I think it just shows, their faith in me and their confidence in me, and it feels great.
Thank you for your time, Dalton.
Yep, thank you.
Recording stopped.
We will be joined next by Liz Carmouche. Please raise your hand if you have any questions.
Recording in progress.
We are now joined by Liz Carmouche. Dylan Rush.
Hey, Liz, I got a weird question for you. If somebody told you in the early 2000s when you were in Iraq or you were in Afghanistan as an aviation electrician with the Marines, that in 20 years you'd be defending a mixed martial arts world championship, what would you say to those people?
I would say that they were right. um, at the time, I had aspirations. I had dreams to fight Cyborg. I thought it was a 145er. No idea that it was nowhere close. So it definitely was a dream in my mind, but I never thought it'd actually be a reality. It was just something that I was working for silently and not telling anybody that that's what I wanted to do. And then here we are today.
And in recent years, you've become a strong advocate for cannabis use amongst athletes. What first intrigued you about that, led you to that new what's the word? Business venture.
It was actually one of the guys that works for this organization, the Road Warrior Foundation. He was a friend that I trained with at the gym, very professional, very outgoing guy that always seemed to reach out to all the veterans in particular there and give them a sense of camaraderie, try and help them, invite them to go on these adventure tours. And he knew he could just see me training all the time. He's like, "What do you do for your recovery?" Nothing. Just keep go back to training again. So he recommended CBD, and I was completely uneducated about it at the time. I thought it was a psychoactive drug that I was going to take, and I was going to get high. And I told him, "I'm a professional athlete. It's not even an option. It's not a consideration. I don't put things in my body like that." But I saw how he carried himself, so it kind of seemed contradictory because that wasn't the type of person that he was. When I did research, I started to see all the benefits for it. And the first time that I used it was so impressed with everything that it did for my body that I just wanted to speak out openly to other people and educate them, just because it was something where like I learned something about it and learned how silly I was for thinking the thoughts that I did. So I knew that there were other people thinking the same things. And I'm like, hey, there are options out there where you're not going to hurt and damage your body by ingesting a product that can help you. Why don't you try this out? And it just kind of started as just in-house trying to tell people about it, and then turned into so much more than that.
And lastly, what can you tell me about the San Diego MMA scene, and do you feel like it's grown in the past couple of years?
Oh, it's absolutely grown the past few years. MMA in San Diego, I would say until COVID, MMA in San Diego, it was the mecca of MMA. If you wanted to go somewhere other than Miami, Florida, if you went to San Diego, in close proximity, you could find the most jiu-jitsu academies and the most MMA academies. Now with COVID restrictions and having put so much just adherence on certain regulations that had to be upheld, and it restricted so many businesses, and they went down, that a lot of people moved to Austin, Texas. But prior to that, the scene was unstoppable. There was things from backyard MMA fights all the way to the largest organizations putting on venues there. And it started off originally where women could very, very rarely find places to be able to train, or if they did, they just weren't going to go anywhere with this sport. And now that's not the case. There's so many gyms that have the top athletes in the world that are represented there.
Thank you, Liz. Good luck Friday.
Thank you.
Patrick?
Hey, Liz, this is Pat McCord from Combat Sports UK. How you doing today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Now, you obviously just won the belt and you're facing the same opponent once again. How much film have you watched? Like, how many times have you watched the previous fight? And can we expect anything new from you?
I've watched the previous fight a lot. In anticipation of our fight, I watched a lot of tape, both in when she was going to fight Alima Lane McFarland, and then, of course, when I knew that I was set up to fight her as well. Since then, I've rewatched the fight, not even for anything that she did or didn't do, but I always watch tape on my previous fights so that I can make sure that I have growth and evolution. The things that, am I doing everything in the gym? The things that we're working on, am I incorporating into the fight? What are the mistakes I made? How can I change them and adapt them? So that when I go back to the gym on Monday, there's always a game plan of things I'm trying to work on. My coaches are trying to help me with. So of course I've watched all the tape. And what I can say is, yeah, I've learned from all those mistakes like I do every fight. No fight is ever the same. And of course you're going to see a different version of me on Friday night.
And a little bit of a different question here. Obviously, we're entering the festive season. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
See, I am not a Christmas movie person.
Oh, no.
Don't get it wrong. I love Christmas, but like the Christmas music, the Christmas movies is not really my thing. I'm trying to think what it's called. It's the evil Christmas one. It's a scary
Scrooge?
movie version of it. No, not the Scrooge. It's not happy at all. Like it's I'm having a brain fart. No, it's not new, but it's a horror film set with Christmas. Starts with a
Or on
K.
Christmas. Those don't sound like those mix. Christmas is supposed to be jolly.
I enjoyed the experience. My wife did not, but I definitely enjoyed it. I'll have to come back to that one and try and remember what it is. But Krampus, that's what it is.
I'll put it on my list for sure.
I wouldn't suggest it.
Well, good luck on Friday. Looking forward to seeing you fight.
Thank you.
Kobe.
Hi, champ. Kobe from the Pro Sports Podcasters. With such a quick turnaround for the rematch, do you expect to see anything significantly different from Juliana, or should it be rinse and repeat?
I always have expectations for how a fighter's going to come out. I mean, I've now faced like Vanessa Porto, perfect example. She has more fights than I do. She's been doing this longer than I have. And she always kind of looked like a copy image every single fight until she went out with me and there was something different. And I can say that for all of the previous opponents. So as much as I'm anticipating Juliana to come out with more emotion and the same opponent, I'm also prepared for the idea that she may just completely throw out her previous game plan and do something completely different.
Is your confidence higher this time because you now are the champ, or is it the same?
No, it's absolutely the same. Having the belt really doesn't reflect confidence for me because people are gunning for me even more. It just shows me that there's a lot more weight on my shoulders to have to back up everything that I have with that belt.
Right on. Looking forward to another great performance.
Thank you.
Jay.
Thanks very much. Just a quick one, Liz. Good to talk to you again. I just wanted to touch on that Christmas movie question a little and get your thoughts on the debate. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie. Yes, I totally agree. It may not be like the Christmas movie theme that people are looking for, but it's set around Christmas. There's Christmas violence in there. It's a Christmas movie.
All right, thanks for that. And, we talked previously about your desire to fight in Japan at some point, hopefully next year. Obviously, it's too soon for the card this New Year's, but are you going to get a chance to go over there and watch, or will you be watching from home?
I'll be watching from home for sure. Yeah, I did my fight camp for the first time away from family. So my wife has an 11-month-old and a 6-year-old at home, and she's been dealing with both of them for 2 months, as well as our nonprofit with all of our dogs and our puppies and every other animal that we have there. So I have a lot of payback to do for the past 2 months. So there's no way that I'm going to be allowed a trip out to Japan.
Fair enough. I'll enjoy it. Best of luck this Friday.
Thank you.
Santiago.
Hi, Liz. Thank you for the time, champion. And no Christmas questions from my part. So, but I do want to know, how have the last couple of months been for you after winning this prestigious Bellator title?
Not much has changed, except, I mean, as far as my life and that how people treat me, nothing's really the same. Everything's completely the same. What has changed is for the first time, I went out of state to do my fight camp with all different people. Every fight camp, I try and push myself to step out and be uncomfortable, put myself in uncomfortable situations to grow and to evolve as much as possible, find new venues, do more research, recovery, strength and conditioning, you name it. And one of the things that finally had to do was I finally had to just step out of that state and go somewhere else, and it's been phenomenal. Everybody I've trained with exceeded my expectations for their skill set, for them being so humble, being so inviting. And it's been a wonderful experience. I feel like has helped me so much coming into this fight.
Were you just like me, shocked about the amount of people that think the first fight ended with a lot of controversy? Because she was clearly in a bad position, right? With the potential to get hurt badly if the ref doesn't intervene.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It was a huge surprise. It was a surprise when I came out of the cage and was presented with, hey, just a heads up, know what you're walking into going to this press conference. And then to go back and replay it in my head and be like, maybe I saw something different and it wasn't right. And then I watched the fight. And I'm like, I don't see what everybody else saw other than somebody losing their mind about something.
You are the first one to produce a finish in a flyweight title fight since 2019. Your opponent is being labeled as not the most aggressive and entertaining fighter, but more steady and calculated. Do you think she's going to get out more aggressive this time from the get-go? Because she's not really used to that, right?
Yeah, she's not used to that. She's not used to people. You can see like her first round, she basically ran away the whole time. And she kind of keeps that tempo of being elusive and evasive and hoping to tire out her opponents. There's a part of me that anticipates she's going to come out more emotional, more aggressive, but stylistically, it's not who she is. But I'm preparing for the idea that maybe she does the exact same thing, or she comes out aggressive and different. I prepared for both scenarios, so I'm ready for this fight no matter what.
Thank you for the time, Liz. Cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on Fight Night, champ.
Thank you.
Ken?
Hey, Liz. Kay Williams for Can Chronicles Media. You have a very upbeat and positive vibe this morning. I mean, you're smiling. You seem very, very, very comfortable, which is a good thing leading up into a match. What has the mental preparation been like for this fight the past week leading up into it?
Part of the mental prep, like I mentioned, was getting out of my comfort zone, is going somewhere I've never been before, training with people I've never met, not knowing what they're capable of, or anytime you walk into a fight gym, it can go one of two ways. Either they're going to train at your tempo, or they're going to try and prove a point by you walking in there and beat the living crap out of you. So I didn't know what I was walking into. I'm like, I trust my coach, and I know the decisions he makes and the people that he uses for training partners, but they could change their minds when I show up. And it's been phenomenal. It was exactly what I needed to push myself and be uncomfortable, to be able to focus selfishly on the fight and not have any guilt when I have to tell my wife, like, hey, I can't pick our son up. We have to reschedule. This training partner fell through. They had to rechange. There's none of that guilt. And so I feel like that really put me in a good place coming into this fight.
We'll take a couple more, starting with Mike.
Hey, it's Mike from ASAP Sports. Thanks for your time. You're undefeated in Bellator and you haven't lost since the matchup against Valentina. I just wanted to ask what things you may have taken from the fight versus Valentina that led to this winning streak and becoming a Bellator champion.
Yeah, going into that fight, I feel like mentally I had my own doubts and questioned everything that I achieved and all the hard work I put into it. And that came at a cost. And I realized that the only person that was ever holding me back in fights was always just myself, that I had what it took. And I knew going into Bellator, I was never going to let that happen again. And I've set that into fruition to be a finisher and to show them everything I have. And I've stuck with that.
We'll take one last one from Dylan.
Hey there, Liz. I appreciate you making some time.
Hello.
I'm just curious because I saw an interview you did with MMA Junkie where you kind of described this one as personal because it seemed like you felt like what should have been a wonderful moment was kind of taken away from you because of like the demeanor of your opponent, etc. Do you feel like you'll have that catharsis and that sort of wonderful moment if you get the ideal outcome here?
Absolutely. I know I will. I know in finishing her, there's not going to be any doubts. I'm not going to leave it to any question, any doubts in anybody's mind, because it'll be her out cold or her bleeding and broken without any doubts in anybody's minds.
Appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Liz.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
We are now joined by Patchy Mix. Please raise your hand if you have any questions.
I mean, when I was 7-0 out there.
Recording in progress.
Santiago.
Hi, Patchy. Thank you for the time. How are you experiencing your fight week thus far?
Fight week's going good. I'm ready to go, Friday night is right around the corner, so I'm ready to punch my ticket to the finale.
Yeah, you look in excellent shape. And did you get to work a lot with Mr. American Jiu-Jitsu, Jake Shields, for this camp? And is Jake going to be in your corner for this fight?
Jake did a little traveling. He was shooting some instructionals, so he's not going to be in my corner this fight. But yes, I have worked with him, of course, out of Extreme Couture. All my training partners, including American Jiu-Jitsu, Jake Shields, I will be implementing that on Friday night.
Yeah, he is great. And did you watch Magomed, his last fight against Enrique Barzola? And what did you make of his performance?
Yeah, I watched Magomed's last fight. I sat cage side for it. I thought it was a stellar performance. Back and forth fight. He showed the true heart of a champion and came out with a guillotine submission in the 4th round. Testament of his heart. Great fight.
Patchy, you of course fought in Japan yourself and you choked the guy out there like it was nothing. There's this big Bellator versus Ryzen card coming up in Japan. What was your first reaction when you heard this big news?
I was excited, man. Ryzen 40. I fought on Rising 20. It was a historical night. Me and my coach Harry, we made magic happen. We won in I think 90 seconds. So it's one of the best nights of my career, and I'm looking forward to watching the show. And good luck to all the Bellator guys. You know, they sent their stable guys, Patricio Pitbull, AJ McKee, Archuleta, Kyoji. They sent a lot of really good guys. Ghazi from AKA too. We got a good stable of guys going to represent Bellator. I think it could be, you know, a clean sweep.
Thank you for the time, Patchy. I cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Anytime, bud.
Jay?
Hey, Patchy, thanks very much. I asked Magomed this earlier, but when it comes to motivation for this fight, you've obviously got the potential of a spot in the tournament final and the belt and the $1 million. Which for you means more at this stage of your career? Is it the money or is it the title?
They both come together, so I guess they're equal meaning to me. But I really, really want the belt. Having an opportunity at it and falling short, you know, a round short, experience that you can't get. You know, I went to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 0. You know, I fought all those fights. I'm an experienced veteran now, and you know, the title means everything. You know, having the second chance at it. You know, I got to earn my shot. Friday night, I earned my shot at the belt. And then my next fight, I'm going to get it.
Absolutely. And obviously, there is another fight on the card that you're probably going to be interested in terms of the other Grand Prix semifinal, Danny Sabatello, Raufeon Stots. I know previously, I believe you said you felt Stots would win, but do you have a preference of who you would rather fight?
I want to fight the best fighter. Stots, if you look at him on paper, he's a lot better than Sabatello. I mean, if Sabatello can stall him out, hug his way to a decision, I don't mind fighting him. But I want to fight the best guy. I feel like, you know, the hardcore MMA fans, the people that are involved in this sport, really, Raufeon Stots is a highly touted name, and I want that name on my record. So I want to get Maga and I want to get Stots, you know, in a perfect world. But I'm laser focused on Friday night, and until I get through Magomed Magomedov, I'm not looking, you know, past that.
Fair enough. And last one for me. You mentioned, you know, this is a second chance at the title for you. Do you feel this is a little bit of redemption for yourself? And are you putting a bit of your pressure on yourself to go out there and perform?
It's the same pressure as last fight. You know, I'm coming off of, you know, the tournament favorite to be the winner, you know, Kyoji Horiguchi, former champion. I had the same pressure last fight. But I'm made through pressure, you know. Me having a shot back at this is everything to me, you know. Me, myself, personally, I'm 16-1, and I have an asterisk with that one. You know, I'm one round removed from winning that fight. In my eyes, I really could be 17-0 with minor adjustments. So this is my chance to prove it to myself. You know, I go out there, put on the performance of my life, go finish this guy, and make you know, a statement for my name, Patchy Mix, one of the best bantamweights in the world.
Absolutely. Well, looking forward to this Friday. Best of luck.
Dylan Rush.
Hey, Patchy, Dylan Rush here. We know you've been all around the country for this training camp, a lot of time at Extreme Couture in Las Vegas. You went out to California with Juan Archuleta. But how did it feel to be back home this weekend in Buffalo, New York, and coach that wrestling tournament this past weekend at Sweet Home High School?
Thank you, Dylan, man. You're one of the best, man. I love to talk to you. It was good to be back, man. I seen Don Lilly himself. You know, I helped him coach the tournament. I helped, you know, even just from picking up food and selling food in the tournament, man, I was doing everything. So it was good to be back around the kids. It was good to see them competing. And it was just what I needed before I went to competition myself, you know. It was a good little reset to go home, see my family, see the kids I coach, and just be ready to go out there firing on all cylinders on Friday.
Much respect. Shout out Don Skrilly. And I wanted to ask you about another one of your coaches, Mr. Harry St. Ledger. You mentioned him a couple times. Is he still at Jackson Wink, or is he somewhere else now? And what can you tell me about him, how he's influenced you for this camp and throughout your career?
Harry's moved a little bit around since Jackson. I think he moved out of Albuquerque, but he's still in my corner. He's affected my career big time. You know, he's right over there watching me right now. He'll be here this Friday with me when I go to war. But I got my brown belt underneath him. You know, my jiu-jitsu, I've been working with him since I was 4 or 5-0. Over 10 fights, you know, over 10 accomplished missions. We do it all. So I'll be firing on the ground on Friday for sure. You know, when I have Harry in my corner, when I get a good warm up, when I'm firing, I'm very dangerous on the mat. So I'm excited to go see it.
I know you've answered a lot of questions about this, but I got to ask at least one question about Magomed. We know you've trained alongside him in the past at Extreme Couture. You did sauna with him. Did you ever in the past envision that one day down the line you'd be standing across the cage from him and fighting him one day?
Yeah, I felt like we'd be fighting, but I thought it'd be for the title as we're both with dominance. I have much respect for Maga too. I don't want to get the message across that I'm disrespectful because I'm confident in my ability. You know, I need to be confident in order to go do the things that I need to do, and that's to finish him is what I need to do. So I haven't envisioned this in the past, though. You know what I mean? I've seen it because he's signed to the promotion, but I thought it would be for the title. I didn't know it would be in the semifinal of this tournament, and I'm just excited. You know, it's a huge opportunity to take this name, and vice versa to him. So you know, it's whoever goes out there and gets who first, and I'm coming.
Appreciate it, Patchy. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Patrick.
Hey, Patchy. How you doing today?
How you doing, man? I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. This is Pedro McCord from Combat Sports UK, by the way. Now, this is your second fight in a row that you're the underdog. How good does it feel when you are the underdog and pulling off a win like you did last time out and proving all the doubters wrong?
It feels good, you know. I don't know. I got a bunch of degenerate friends that love gambling, so I'm sure they're gonna throw money down on it, and it feels extra good, you know, just to I don't know, you know what I mean? Help them make some money, and I don't have to feel no pressure, you know. The pressure's on him. Like you said, I'm the underdog. He's got the big name here, so I'm looking to go take it.
And how do you see your style matching up with either the winner of Stots or Sabatello?
I think I match up very well with both of them. Both styles, they fit right into my game. I feel like I could submit Sabatello 100 out of 100 times. He's absolute trash and he sucks. And I feel like, you know, I could submit Stots as well and dominate him on the mat. So I'm excited for both matchups. And, you know, the most important thing is this Friday. You know, that's the only thing I'm really focused on, the only thing that's really in my mind. So to think past Magomed would be foolish. And that's my goal right now is him, Friday night.
All right, man. Looking forward to seeing you perform on Friday. Good luck.
Thank you.
Ken?
Hey, Patchy, K. Williams for Can Chronicles Media. What is the strategic game plan going into the fight on Friday, and what are some of the last-minute adjustments by your fight camp that have been implemented?
The major game plan is just to, I guess I really can't give my game plan, to be honest with you. I don't really think too much into it, I guess. I'm going to go out there, react to what he does, react to what, the things I see, and my training will take over. My game plan is just to dominate and finish, you know. I want to impose. I want to cut him off. I want to hunt them down, and I want to finish them. You know, that's my goal. That's my plan, so that's it.
Thank you.
Kobe?
Hey, Patchy, Kobe from the Pro Sports Podcasters. Your performances in the Grand Prix have been next level. They've been a level above what I've seen from you in the past. Is it the title and the $1 million that's on the line that's amplified your preparation for these fights, or have you just reached another level yourself, period?
I reached another level myself, period, as I'm growing into a man. You know, I'm 29 now. You know, I'm getting older, but another thing I did is I just, this year, I went fully in, like a 100% in. The main thing, I needed to make some life changes outside of this, you know? No drinking, no going out, no doing, I'm treating my body as if the way I need to, as if it's a championship car here, you know? I'm not putting anything into this body that shouldn't be. So, you know, I'm focusing on cutting out all the bullshit out of my life and, you know, the fun right now. I want to focus for the next year, 2 years, stay straight, stay on the correct path, you know, not cutting any corners at all. And, you know, I want to win more than just $1 million, more than the interim title, more than this tournament. I want to win the undisputed belt, and I want to defend that thing. I want to be one of the best bantamweights in Bellator history, you know, and those are my goals. And if the main thing was dedication, you know, I'm a fully dedicated athlete. I train like a world champion, and now I'm ready to become one.
Mills?
Hey, what's going on, Patchy? It's the MMA Locker Room, part of Pop Sports Radio.
How you doing, man? How are you?
Awesome, man. I love everything you just said about cutting out all the evils in your life. You know, it's kind of like you're treating your body like a temple, right?
Yeah, no, you kind of got off a little bit, but you guys seen some performances by me that were a little lackluster, and let's say the Archuleta, Albert Morales, and the Gallagher fights. Coming around this year, it's been a whole new me, and I think that people seen it in the Horiguchi fight, and they will definitely see it in this Magomed fight come Friday.
Definitely. And then another thing would be, we got a high level jiu-jitsu fighter like yourself going against a high level grappler, Dagestani wrestler. Which one's going to be superior?
We'll see Friday night. I'm very confident in my ability, and I'm a hybrid. I'm not just a jiu-jitsu guy. I've come from wrestling. I'm an American wrestler with a very high level jiu-jitsu training. So I'm a double threat.
Thank you for your time, Patchy.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Next, we will be joined by Juliana Velasquez. Please raise your hand if you have questions.
Recording in progress.
We are now joined by Juliana Velasquez. Patrick?
Hey, Juliana, this is Pedro McCoy from Combat Sport TK. How you doing today?
Juliana, como você está hoje?
Melhor que nunca. Não tô pensando hoje no meu corte de peso, só tô pensando na minha luta. Acho que foi um corte perfeito. Me dediquei, e acho que desde o fim da luta até agora. Então, até agora tá tudo perfeito.
Better than ever. I'm not having any issue with my weight cut. Everything has been pretty perfect so far.
And obviously, you've fought Liz before. Can we expect anything new from you in this fight?
Você já lutou com o Liz uma vez, né? A gente pode esperar alguma coisa nova de você nessa luta?
Com certeza. Com certeza eu tô diferente. Fiz um jogo bem diferente. As pessoas às vezes esquecem que eu sou grappling, né? Só espera a parte de trocação minha, na minha parte do meu strike. Mas pode ter certeza que vocês vão encontrar uma Juliana muito completa.
For sure. I've trained harder and got some other strategies going on. People think that I'm a striker because that's what they see most of me. But I'm mostly a grappler. So you can expect some new things from me in this fight.
Jay?
Thanks a bunch. And Juliana, welcome back. Obviously, the first fight did not end the way you wanted, but I'm wondering, after that stoppage and the time that has passed, are you more at peace with it now? Is it just motivation heading into this fight?
Você obviamente não ficou feliz com a forma que a luta acabou, mas você está mais em paz agora com o que aconteceu?
Não gostei realmente da forma que terminou a luta. Não foi não foi uma paralisação correta, até porque eu estava vencendo todos os rounds e era o final do penúltimo round. Mas não tô frustrada, como eu já disse, eu já tive muitas derrotas na minha carreira no judô e as derrotas eu aprendi a vivenciá-las rápidas para a gente poder disputar o bronze, né, no judô. Então, essa derrota não me afetou em nada, até porque eu não considero derrota.
Yeah, the stoppage definitely didn't sit well with me because I was winning all of the rounds in that fight. I had the fight won already. But I'm not very frustrated about it because that's something that I've been through my life as an athlete before in judo. I had, if I lost, I would have to get back on track pretty fast because I still had to fight for the third place medal. So it doesn't affect me at all. And I've built myself back up and I'm ready to get this belt now.
You did attempt to appeal the outcome in the last fight, and obviously the commission in Hawaii turned that down. When I spoke to Liz, she said if she was in your position, she wouldn't have appealed. She said that's just part of the sport. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are on that.
Você apelou, né, a decisão da luta e não deu certo. Eles, quando falou com Liz, ela disse que se fosse ela no seu lugar, ela não teria feito isso, que é assim que o esporte funciona. O que é que você tem a dizer sobre essa declaração dela?
Ela é ela e eu sou eu. Se ela acha que não é assim, claro que ela não ia, né? Porque favoreceu a ela. Mas não foi uma vitória justa. Ela sabe disso, todo mundo sabe. Então, tanto que eu tive ao meu lado o John McCartney no pedido da declaração para a comissão atlética.
Liz is Liz, and I am myself. So, of course, she would have that to say because she wasn't the one who got the wrong decision. And everyone knows it shouldn't have been stopped. I even had Big John McCartney on my side when I appealed to the commission. So that's how things go.
And last one for me, I mean, mentally speaking, when you go into this fight now, do you treat Liz as the champ or do you still treat this as you're the champ and she really is challenging you in a sense?
Mentalmente falando, você trata a Liz como a campeã ou você se vê como a campeã ainda nessa luta?
Para mim, eu sou a campeã. E desde que acabou aquela luta, eu ainda me considerei campeã. Então é assim que permanece a minha cabeça, a minha mente, eu sempre me vejo como campeão.
To me, I'm still the champion. Ever since that fight was over, I still thought of myself as a champion in my preparation. That's what I thought. And coming into this fight, that's what I would be thinking.
All right. Well, thanks very much and best of luck this Friday.
Agradeceu e desejo boa sorte na sexta.
Thank you.
Mills?
How's it going? This is MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio. Hello, Juliana.
Você está, Juliana?
All right.
I'm fine.
Good. Love to see the sunglasses. So I just have a question. After facing your first defeat and being undefeated for so long, who were some of the people that really inspired you to get back into the gym and go hard for this next up-and-coming fight? And also, did you punish some of your training teammates for it? Because if I just lost, in a fight that I thought I won, I would be beating up everybody in my gym.
Bateu, espancou os seus sparring no treinamento, né, para descontar sua frustração, porque no seu lugar ele provavelmente saía quebrando todo mundo da academia.
Primeiramente, obrigado por ter gostado do meu óculos. Tô mudando o visual. Com certeza, meu treino acho que foi bem mais agressivo dessa vez, né? Fui botando acho que tudo que eu deixei de fazer, às vezes na luta, eu cheguei na academia descontando nos meus amigos de treino. Mas, brincadeira à parte, quando eu cheguei para treinar, a cada dia eu me coloquei em teste. Nenhum treino para mim foi devagar até hoje. Desde que eu cheguei dessa luta até agora, só tive treinos duros. E eu não treino com menina, né? Só treino com homem. Então, acho que a pior parte que de tudo que eu passo é dentro do treino.
First of all, thank you for the compliment to my glass. Trying some new look today. And as far as my camp goes, yeah, for sure, my sparring partners suffer a little bit because I tried everything that I didn't do in that fight, everything that was lacking. I tried to push to do in this camp, and I didn't have a single slow day of practice during this entire camp. All my practice were hard practice. And I don't train with girls, I train with men. So obviously, this makes me put myself to the test every single practice. And this has taken me to another level. And I've been dealing with everything in order to improve myself.
Thank you for your time, Juliana.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Recording stopped.
We'll be joined by Raufeon Stots shortly. We apologize for the delay. We'll be with you guys very shortly. Heads up, we have Raufeon for 10 minutes.
Recording in progress.
Jay?
Hey, thanks very much. And Raufeon, obviously a big fight this weekend, top of the card, title defense as the interim champ here, and a guy who's very vocal and maybe more so than I think a lot of guys you might have faced. Do you try to replicate that in training? Any training partners doing some chit chat with you?
I mean, we talk all the time in training. So yeah, it's nothing different than we've been doing, you know. We like to talk. I feel like I got a chippy group of training partners. Adrian Yanez, Cameron Smotherman, Jacob Silva. So we do a lot of talking regardless.
Good stuff. And, when you have a guy who, whether he believes it or not, he's outwardly this disrespectful, does it get under your skin at all? Has he crossed any lines, or you just kind of, water off a duck's back and it doesn't bother you?
I mean, it doesn't bother me. I would welcome it. As far as it getting under my skin, I know it's all a facade. Like the things he said, I want to kill you, I want to bash your face in. You've never shown any indicator that you're even capable of that. So none of that stuff means nothing to me. When we step in there, you gotta impose your will on me, and I just don't see that happening.
And you touched on the talk of stoppages there. I mean, in comparison to other opponents, and I say this knowing that the next fight is always the toughest one, how does he match up with some of the guys you've been in there with?
As far as the fight, I feel like this is an interlude for the tournament. I don't feel like this fight will be competitive. I feel like I beat the shit out of him. And that's just given, my skill set and the opponents he's faced, opponents I face, I just don't see him being successful.
Last one for me. Obviously, the other side of the bracket is something you're going to have your eye on. Patchy mix, Magomed Magomedov. What's your take in that one? Who's coming out the winner?
Man, I keep going back and forth. I'm edging right now. I'm edging Patchy mix right now, but that's probably more of me wanting to fight Patchy mix because I haven't fought him before, and I want to clean out the division.
Dylan Rush.
Super Stots, Dylan Rush. The world wants to know, will you attempt to right your wrongs and go for another backflip if you were to emerge victorious on Friday night?
Man, Josh Thompson asked me not to, but if I get the knockout like I want, I don't think it's nothing stopping me. My body might take control of itself, so probably.
And I hate to say it, Raufeon, but it's been a tough year for mixed martial artists of Nigerian descent. Usman losing his belt in August, Israel Adesanya last month. How much of a role does your heritage play in your motivation to be the best?
My motivation is, that's huge. My national or my heritage in Nigeria, because I want to inspire people to look like me, and people of Nigerian descent, look like me, and I know they're watching. I know they're rooting for me. I know they're invested in me. So that means a lot to me.
And lastly, speaking of motivation, in our interview last week, you spoke to me about Detroit Dust Dale Brown and how he's rocking with you for this fight. It seems like Sabatello found out and had some very choice words for Mr. Brown. So he actually invited him to step in the cage one day. Does this give you any added motivation to inflict punishment on Danny for bad mouthing the beloved Dale Brown?
Bro, I feel like I got everybody on my back, or everybody helping or, rooting for me to shut this guy up. And that's just to add a little more, It's also funny to me, I think, because I think I think Danny really wants to be loved, but nobody loves him. So he's like lashing out at people, you know what I mean? So yeah, no, that's hilarious. And I wouldn't say it add like more motivation, but you know, I'm gonna definitely make some people happy.
Appreciate it, man. Good luck Friday.
Thank you.
Santiago.
Hi, Raufeon. Thank you for the time. This is going to be a weekend filled with combat sports, but this main event between you and Sabatello, it's the biggest fight of the weekend, and it's not even close. Are you loving it, Raufeon, that this big title defense of yours is getting the attention that it deserves? I mean, you were a big factor in the whole build-up yourself anyway, so people love you here.
Man, I'm super happy. You know, I feel like this is cool. You know what I mean? For there to be eyes on me. You know, me to be main event a spot on Bellator. Like that's huge. That's super huge. So yeah, I'm loving it, man. I'm enjoying it.
During your face-to-face with Danny on the MMA Hour, you said to him that he is a knockoff of Colby Covington, and he clearly didn't like that, Raufeon. Did you notice this as well? And why do you think that got a reaction from him?
I think he doesn't like that because there's some truth to it, you know. Like he talks a big game. Unfortunately, he don't show up, I feel like, as well, you know, but their attitudes are kind of the same, you know. I would say I dislike Colby Covington a little more, but Danny's a close second. You know, he's a pretty good knockoff. He's a pretty good wish knockoff.
Bellator has announced a co-promotion with Ryzen in Japan. What was your first reaction when you heard this exciting news, Raufeon?
Man, I was jealous, man. I was jealous that I was super excited to because I would love to be a part of that event, you know what I mean? And to travel to Japan. So no, I'm happy for those guys. I'm rooting for the Bellator guys, obviously. And I think it'll be an amazing show. You know, I think that's like super cool. And that's one of the reasons I joined Bellator, because they do events like this, you know, promotion versus promotion. Everybody wants to see it. So that's pretty cool.
You seem to be in amazing shape. I cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on Fight Night, champ.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Patrick.
Hey, Raufeon, this is Patrick McCoy from Combat Sports UK. How you doing today?
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Now, I asked Sabatello this earlier, but after it's all said and done, with all the trash talk and everything that's gone into it, will there be a shake of hands after the fight, no matter the result?
Man, I'm probably not, bro. Probably not. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm probably gonna party on him. That's just the way it is. I feel like some like church music or gospel music has like popped into my stations or whatever, and I'm like, God, you're gonna have to forgive me for this one, because I ain't gonna show no sportsmanlike activities or nothing like that. I just don't like this dude. So yeah, that's kind of what it is.
And slightly different question here. We're entering the festive season, so I want to know, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
Favorite Christmas movie is Friday or next Friday.
That's a good one. Good luck on Friday, man.
Thank you.
Mills.
What's going on, Raufeon? It's MMA Locker Room, part of Puff Sports Radio.
What's up, bro?
Nothing much, man. Coming off a 10-fight win streak right now. I mean, you already got the gold around your waist. It seems like you're getting the sponsorships and all the, attention that you deserve right now. But do you feel that this is actually going to be one of your hardest opponents based on the way that he fights a relentless wrestling style?
I don't think so. I just think I was like bred to beat wrestlers, you know what I mean? I'm a wrestler myself, you know? And unfortunately his style is like so one-dimensional. All I gotta do is watch out for one thing. I'm so well-rounded that I feel like this is gonna be one of my easiest opponents, you know? Granted, you know, I know he has a lot to lose, and I know he has a lot to gain by beating me, so it'll be a tough fight in that respect. But stylistically, I just don't see him having the skills to deal with what I'm capable of.
Got it. And another thing, man, it seems like the whole MMA world is paying attention to this fight, this card going on this Friday, even though you got another organization doing another fight promotion on Saturday. So, I mean, how does it feel to be the main headlight of the situation of the world that everybody's talking about? This is the fight they want to see, bigger than Pitbull and McKee. This is the fight made for Bellator. You agree?
Yeah, man, I definitely agree, man. I feel like it's the biggest fight of the year. I feel like we've been waiting forever for it to go down. And I am relishing in the fact that I'm at the forefront of the spotlight. So, yeah, man, bring it on, man. I'm loving it, you know. I'm loving the attention. I love the all the some people call it pressure. I call it like, chips. I'm loving that. I'm ready to put it all on the line, man. I'm ready to give the people a show.
Let's go, taco meat.
Let's go.
Thank you, Raufeon, for your time.
No problem.
Recording stopped.